Today I'm going to show you how you can make your home look like Pottery Barn for the holidays on a budget. Do you guys remember when I went to the thrift store and I got a bunch of glassware and put together that gorgeous thrifted tree with glassware? Well, it turned out so well. I attached everything on a candlestick with E6000 that I thought, what else could we do with the glassware at the thrift store? So I thought, what if we put together a snowman? So when I was thrifting, I found several pieces that I think are gonna work to put together. Now, you could recreate this yourself as well. You just wanna get glassware at the thrift store. You're also going to need E6000. That's what I use to hold everything together. So I started with a bowl as my base. This is a good size, like fish bowl style, that's gonna be a great large base. Now, if you wanna make this larger, you could get a larger bowl for your base as well. And then the next piece is going to be like my midsection. So you need something that can act as arms or hands. So I thought this bowl would make a great next piece to put on for our center section because it has the handles on the side, which we're gonna use as arms. So I'm gonna add E6000 to the inside of my bowl and place it onto this glass bowl. So when you're putting this together, you wanna make sure that it's as level as possible. So a lot of times it's good to let certain sections dry before you put another piece on. So I feel like this piece I wanna let dry. So this is what I'm gonna use for the head. So it's going to go on top of here. And then this we're going to put on as our snowman's hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the hat to this piece, let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll add the head on once both of the pieces are dry. So I let these dry. Now that they're a little bit more firm, I'm gonna add some E6000 and place this on top of here. I'm gonna give this a chance to dry, and then you can add on any sort of ribbon to create your own scarf. I have the best gadget to help you with wrapping your Christmas presents. I got this wrapping paper at Dollar Tree, and I love the craft paper style. I feel like this is gonna save us so much time. It's from Amazon, and I'll link it down below. I love the look of Pottery Barn's stockings and their stocking holders, but not necessarily the price. You can recreate that look for so much less. So what I did was I went to the thrift store and I was looking for some stocking holders. If you go to the Christmas section, there's usually several options. And the ones that I found were really heavy duty. They had some good weight to them. So I got a few that I liked, brought them home, and I'm gonna start by spray painting them because I wanted them to look like the Pottery Barn ones. So I spray painted them with a flat black spray paint. You want to cover both sides, the front and the back. Once that has a chance to dry, you're going to get out your favorite gold rub and buff. And the reason you spray painted them black is because you want that black to kind of show underneath. It's going to give it more of like a vintage aged look. And with a foam brush, I'm going to add on my rub and buff to my entire top piece. Let some of that black show through a little bit. But once you're happy with the coverage, you're going to add the rub and buff to your other stocking holder. You can let these dry and then add them to your mantle. Now, what stockings are we going to do? Well, last year I bought some inexpensive stockings at Walmart. I did a DIY with them by adding my daughter's pictures to the front. And here's how they turned out. Last year, the most popular candle by far were these Christmas tree candles. I bought them off of Amazon. They are absolutely adorable. I just pulled them out and put them in some thrifted candle holders. I absolutely love the way they look. So I will link those for you down below as well if you're looking for them. But this year I have to show you the newest candle holder. How adorable are these? Walmart came out with these red bow candle holders. They also have these red LED candles that I'm gonna put inside. All you have to do is add in some AA batteries, but these are gonna go on my mantle. So I was wrong, you actually use 2 AAA batteries. And of course, if you're interested in any of the candles, I'll link them for you down below. There's nothing better than a simmer pot on your stove during the holiday season. And when I was thrifting, I found this pot. It's by the brand Beautiful, which I believe they sell at Walmart. I was so excited to thrift this and I thought it would be perfect to make a simmer pot with. So I'm gonna make one that's a little non-traditional. So the first thing I like to do is fill up my pot about halfway full with water. As it simmers on your stove, the water will evaporate. You can add additional water to have it go a little bit longer, but I'm gonna start with just putting it halfway full. Now, a simmer pot is a great way to clean out your fridge. I had some limes and lemons, so I'm gonna cut these up and we're gonna make kind of a citrus simmer pot. Now the herbs we're going to be adding are some mint and rosemary. All right, I'm gonna set this on my stove and this can simmer all day, and in a few hours, it's gonna smell amazing. If you're wanting the look of Pottery Barn in your house, try these candle holders. So I thought these candle holders were absolutely adorable. You guys know that I've done several gingerbread projects over the years. I've taken houses from Dollar Tree and the thrift store, turned them into gingerbread houses. I've also made gift bags into gingerbread. So there's so many fun DIYs you can do with these. I thought, let's try to make these candle holders. So there's a spray paint that you want to pick up for this. It's by the brand Bear and it's their terracotta color. I use this throughout the year, but it's great for gingerbread. So spray your candle holders. I'm using the Dollar Tree clear ones. They have these out year round. I'm gonna spray the candlesticks with the Bear terracotta color. Let that dry. Next, you're gonna need some white puff paint. You can get this at many stores. I will link some for you down below. But what I like to do to create that gingerbread look is to use a combination of dots and lines. That's really all you have to do. So I'm gonna start by adding dots to the top. And then the other thing I like to do is an upside down heart. This is a pretty easy one to do. You're just gonna put 2 dots and then connect them together. This creates a heart. You can add squiggly lines, you can add straight lines. I also love to do like kind of like a S formation. All of these different shapes together end up looking good. If you're intimidated to do this look, just use dots and straight lines and hopefully it'll turn out looking the way you want it to look. So do this on all 3 of your candle holders. Let it dry completely, and then you can add in your favorite candles. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is Christmas. Every time I show you guys the seasonal soft soap that they have at Walmart, you absolutely love it. I get it because it's super affordable. They had some really fun scents for the fall, and of course for the holidays, they have another fun scent. This is an iceberry scent. So I'm gonna show you how I update my soap display over here by my kitchen sink. Now, a few items that I have to put together. This I picked up at the thrift store. I thought it was so fun, and I was like, I know I could use this in my holiday decor. It's those red and green colors that I've been using this year. The other thing that I'm gonna be using is a Dollar Tree DIY. Do you guys remember when I put this together? So I bought one of the baskets that they have out at Dollar Tree. I also bought several of their bottle brush trees and just set those in this basket. Super easy to do. This would take you a few minutes to put together. So I'm gonna place this by my sink with my soft soap and my bottle brush trees. Walmart currently has so many great Christmas home decor items. I am just loving all of them. One of the things I just found were these nutcrackers. I thought they were absolutely gorgeous. I will link them for you down below. I will recommend with any sort of Christmas decor at Walmart, go ahead and purchase it early because I do know a lot of their items sell out. So I got 2 of these wooden nutcrackers and I wanted to create some bookends. The other thing that I picked up at Walmart were these wooden coasters. So I wanted to stain them to be a similar color to my nutcrackers. So I had like a natural stain that's not very dark, and then I had one that was a little too dark. So my idea was I'm going to combine the 2 stains. This is something you can do to achieve the color you're looking for. So start with your natural stain in a foam brush and put it onto your wood pieces. Now with my stain that's a little bit too dark, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to use it very sparingly. I'm going to use my same foam brush that I used for the natural stain and dip it into the lid of my darker stain. And then I'm going to brush it on lightly to my wood piece, adding it in until I'm happy with the color. And then if you have any excess, you can wipe it off or you can just let it dry. I'll repeat that with both of my wood pieces. You want to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to use E6000 on the bottom of my nutcracker and attach it to the wood base. Let this dry overnight, and then you can use these as gorgeous bookends in your holiday decor. These ice molds are a fun way to elevate your drinks for the holidays. You have 4 different ornament options. Just fill them up with water and place them in the freezer. They've sat overnight. Let's see how they turned out. The last time I was shopping at Dollar Tree, I found these gorgeous stems. And it's been a while since I found stems that I really like, but I love these. I love the snow on them, and I thought they'd be perfect in this vase. I picked this up at the thrift store. It's just a mercury glass. So I'm gonna try to style these in here and put them in my decor. If you love an edge piece whenever you're eating brownies, you need this next pan. So this is a pan designed to make every piece an edge piece. So there's this little piece that you can put into your pan to divide it out so each piece is an individual piece. So we're gonna make some brownies today, try it out and see if it works. I bought this off of Amazon. I will link it for you down below, or I'll put the QR code right here. You can scan it and it will take you to the pan. But I just bought a basic chocolate fudge brownie mix at the store, so let's make that together. We're gonna add in 2/3 a cup of oil, 1/4 a cup water, and 2 eggs. Next, we'll just combine these ingredients. Now I'm gonna add in the brownie mix. So I'm gonna spray my pan before I add in the brownie mix, and then I'm also going to spray the dividers. Now you're gonna take out your divider, add in the brownie mix, and then we'll put the divider back in. All right, so you just set this down in there, and then you're going to bake it in the oven according to the package directions. All right, the brownies are ready. Let's pull them out. We're gonna let them cool, and then we'll take out the middle piece. So the brownies have been cooling about 30 minutes, so now I'm gonna pull out the divider. Each one is a perfect individual brownie. I'm gonna top them off with these Hershey Kisses. Do you guys remember when I used an egg carton to make ghosts in the fall? Well, I thought, why don't we do it to make Christmas trees? So I'm gonna start by cutting out the center portion of this egg carton to use as my tree base. So with your egg carton, you're going to cut it out, and you wanna kind of make those bottom edges curved if you can as you're cutting it out. Next, I'm going to paint my trees. So I'm gonna be using an acrylic green paint. Next, we're gonna add gold rub and buff to the bottom of our trees. So next I'm gonna add a little bit of this red and white twine. I'm gonna poke a hole in one of my little trees here and thread it through. So I'm gonna get it to the length that I want, and then I'll just cut off the excess, and then I'll hot glue it to the side here. I have these little pearls that I'm gonna add to the outside to look like ornaments. I could use hot glue. I think I'm gonna use E6000. I'm gonna add hot glue inside here, and then I'm gonna put it down on top of this tree. So I'm trying to make it like a staggered look. I'm gonna add a few more pearls to the front here. And we're gonna finish it off with a wood star. Let me show you how to put together a holiday bow. So you're gonna pull out your favorite wire ribbon. I'm going with reds, greens. I'm definitely using a lot of plaids this year. So I have this plaid color we're gonna add in. I have a little bit of gold. And what I did was just order my ribbon from largest to smallest. So I'm gonna start with my larger ribbons and then I'll add on the smaller ones. The other item you're going to need, well, you're gonna need a pair of scissors, but you're also going to need zip ties. This is what I like to use to kind of hold everything together. Now this ribbon is pretty large. So this one's gonna be honestly my hardest ribbon to make. But essentially what we're gonna do is make 2 large loops on either side of my bow. So I'm gonna pull off quite a bit here and I wanna leave my long tail, and then I'm going to create a loop right here. Okay, this is gonna be the center. This is gonna be the area that I keep holding. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my ribbon and just twist it in my hand, and I'm gonna create another loop on the other side. Okay, so this is gonna be my back bow, so I honestly want it to be the largest. And then I'm going to twist it in my hand as well, because I'm trying to keep that front area showing. And then I'll make the loops about the same size and cut it at the bottom. Don't worry, if it's not perfect, you can always come back. Okay, so this is my back bow. So the good thing is I laid all my ribbons out so I can keep going with my next ribbon. Now this ribbon, I think most of these ribbons I bought at Walmart. This is just another great like green velvet ribbon. I'm going to make my tails all about the same size, but I'll just create another loop, wrap it around. Main thing you have to remember is to put the velvet side on the outside. And if your loops are not the same size, it's no big deal. So I'm gonna flip this around and then cut it off. So this is what we're gonna do all the way down. I'm just gonna keep adding loops to the outside. Now it's kind of hard to fluff it when they're not all together, so I'm gonna wait and do that at the end. So I have my bow here. Now we're going on with our plaid. Create a loop. This one's a little bit easier because it's plaid on both sides. And cut it at the bottom. So if you can add in some neutral ribbon, do that as well. So I have this like gold glitter one. That's gonna make the other ribbons pop. So I got a loop on one side, I will twist it and put my loop on the other side. Okay, you see how I have everything held in the middle? Now I have a few more ribbons. I'm gonna go in with another green velvet that's a little bit smaller. So one thing I wanna point out to you guys is I'm making my loops a little bit smaller every time I bring them in. So you can see here, this green loop is smaller than this larger one. So I'm just trying to make them a little bit smaller as I bring them in. So I have 2 more ribbons. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add this red one. So I like that. I don't think I'm gonna add in the white. So now what I'm gonna do is with everything in my hand, I'm going to zip tie it. So I'm gonna wrap a zip tie around the center and then I'll keep holding it tight. Now all I'm gonna do is just fluff out all of the pieces that I looped around. Now the ends don't have to be perfect, but the ones that I was like cutting it off as I was holding it, you wanna go back through and recut those. And I'm just going to cut them at an angle. That's all you have to do to make a gorgeous bow. You could put this on top of your tree, a wreath, or your garlands. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite project was. I love knowing your opinion. And make sure you subscribe because I want to see you back here, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.